Yo, what is going on, everyone? It's theRealKaaayle back with some MK11 content. This time, some news, some juicy news regarding the NRS future, the future NRS title. And it's just more, I feel like every month is something, some new report, some new, leak, some new coin of information that just gets everybody talking what's going to go on. I mean, I think that's kind of amazing. It just goes to show, whatever they're up to, it just gets people excited. There's just a lot of just talk about whatever they're going to do next now that MK11 is all said and done. But hopefully you guys are doing well. Hopefully y'all not doing that crate challenge crap. Hopefully you guys are not doing that. Someone is going to get really hurt doing that. Worse than a crushing blow. But anyways, this news, this came out over the weekend, so I'm only reporting it now, but there's reports from certain gaming insiders saying that the next NRS game will most likely not be a next Injustice or another Marvel game. It most likely would be Mortal Kombat 12. So the next Mortal Kombat is seemingly is taking priority over Injustice 3. And the main reason this is because due to ongoing problems with the publisher, Warner Brothers, right? So we know earlier, I think it was late 2020 or earlier this year, Warner Brothers, AT&T, which is pretty much, that's over Warner Brothers. They were looking to sell their sect of gaming. So that would include Warner Brothers games, and that includes, franchises like Injustice, Mortal Kombat, the Middle Earth series, I think the Lego games, I think Hitman is in that too, correct me if I'm wrong, but pretty much any other game that revolves underneath, that's published by Warner Brothers would have been affected by that, right? So they're looking to sell that off, and it piqued interest of gaming companies like Microsoft, EA, and Activision. And remember that time everybody was panicking, oh no, they can't do this. We don't want Microsoft to have it because I don't want to have to get an Xbox to play Mortal Kombat. Oh no, we can't have EA because EA is going to microtransaction the fuck out of the game, and Activision was going to do the same thing. And, we all rejoiced because MK Ultimate did well, and they said, you know what, we'll hold on to this for a while. But now we're here again, coming off the strength of the reports of having a Marvel game, which was still rumored, but there's been a leaked roster for that and whatnot. There's been something else that kind of teases of NetherRealm could be working on a Marvel fighting game, but nothing 100% concrete. But out of everything that I've seen so far, this seems the most legit. So according to this, I'm gonna link two articles regarding this. But according to an industry insider, Jeff Grubb, which is the Giant Bomb channel. Giant Bomb is a pretty well-known video game outlet. Based on what he says and based on things that he's heard, he's saying that the next Mortal Kombat would make more sense because it's a game that they know will make money and sell well, and it's just really up in the air with Warner Brothers right now. What's going on, and it does make sense. It does make sense considering that the Injustice game, having the licenses with, the DC comics and to use those characters, it would just be problematic to be so deep into development for a game that requires, licensing to use these, household characters, and then out of the blue, the game would have to get canceled because, Warner Brothers dropped them, or they just don't have the budget anymore to use the game. That would instantly just can the game because licensing is very, very important. It's the whole reason why we've never gotten a Marvel vs. DC game, even though that's probably the most requested video game ever. Whether it be a fighting game, some sort of story mode, action adventure game. There's a reason why those video game crossovers, they're a pain for developers and publishers because people are protective over these properties, and these are big properties. So it'd be a shame if they were working on a game and then it had to get canceled because, the partnership between them and Warner Brothers just went under. So for them, it seems like it's more likely now that they have, they have the budget, they have money, they can make the next Mortal Kombat game, 'cause that's their baby, you know. That's Ed Boon's baby. They own that. Those are their characters. They can work with that. They don't necessarily have to worry about other outside forces regarding to putting that game together. So, my thoughts on this, to be quite fair, I'm indifferent. I would say I'm very indifferent about this. So, MK11 came out in 2019. So let's say if the next NRS game does drop next year, right? It'll be 3 years. So that's enough. That's a long enough time span for a new iteration in the game. But it's kind of weird that MK11 doesn't feel like it's that old to me, because we recently just got its last update. So it still feels like fresh in my mind. So to get a Mortal Kombat game so soon, I wouldn't be as hyped for it. Not to say I wouldn't be hyped for a new Mortal Kombat game. Believe me, this channel, we will be hyped for a new Mortal Kombat game, and there will be tons of videos on that, right? But I'm not saying it wouldn't be as hyped for it knowing that if we got something else in between. You know, I like the flip-flop between Injustice and a Mortal Kombat. I like the trade-off. I like going back in between the two, or just something new. Like honestly, I was kind of hoping that maybe it's a Marvel game, just to mix things up. Out of all those three, maybe a Marvel fighting game, a DC fighting game, or Mortal Kombat, I would say the one that I want the least, emphasis on least, not that I don't want it, just out of the one that out of that pool, the one that I want the least would be a Mortal Kombat game, only because MK11 really isn't that old, right? And that's the only reason why I wouldn't want a new Mortal Kombat game. I like missing it. You know, when MK11 got revealed, you know, Injustice 2 was out for about a year and a half, and then MKX came out in 2015. You know, it was 3 years. I was like, damn, I miss Mortal Kombat now. Then when it got revealed, it was like, yes, it's time. And by the time it came out, it was 4 years after MKX came out. Perfect timing. It gave us time to miss the game, you know, appreciate what we had, what we didn't have, and then it allowed us to get something new. And I feel that way right now with Injustice. I personally would prefer Injustice 3 over Mortal Kombat 12 right now, because I miss Injustice. The times I go back and play Injustice 2, I sit down and wonder about, wow, imagine if they really altered the Injustice gameplay like how they altered MKX to MK11, because I really feel like they would do that, given the fan reception and the fan feedback from Injustice 2. I feel like Injustice 3 will play completely different. So I'm honestly looking forward to seeing what they do with that series. Even if Injustice 3 is the last game, they make it a trilogy. If they make it the last game, so be it. Also, Injustice 2 story mode, I really want to see what they do coming off the ending of that, more than coming off the ending of MK11. Honestly, the way MK11 ended seems very like, yes, it restarts the whole, spoiler, it restarts pretty much everything, but honestly, let's say if Mortal Kombat really ended, like that was supposed to be the last game, I think it could have ended with that for the most part. Personally, I know people wouldn't be happy about that, but personally, I think it felt pretty resolute. Injustice 2 pretty much ends with a massive cliffhanger, and the story needs to continue. But overall, let me know what you guys think about this. Would you rather a Mortal Kombat game? Would you rather an Injustice game? Or would you rather something completely different like this alleged Marvel game? I know the NRS games, they get all looped into underneath the same umbrella because they're the same developer. But it's one thing that I have learned over the years. There is overlap, but not as much as you might think. I feel like there's a lot of Mortal Kombat fans that just do not enjoy Injustice, and you guys have let me know that. And same thing with Injustice. There are some Injustice fans that think Injustice plays better than Mortal Kombat. But, you know, it really is apples to oranges, you know, tomato, 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 potato, pretty much. So let me know what you guys think. Once again, I would prefer Injustice 3, but all in all, I'm here for whatever NRS brings us, because I know they're going to put a lot of work into it. So stay tuned, guys. Whatever updates or, you know, news breaks coming from this, definitely expect me to cover it on the channel. So hit that subscribe button, leave a like on the video if you are new as well. Thank you for all the support. Stay real. Peace.